Yuri and I'm going for a drive in the 2024 Porsche 718 RS Spyder. This thing has 493 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque from a naturally aspirated 4-liter flat six. And it is a convertible with an emergency top, so I need to manually take it all off before I can get into launch control. I got the back part gone, and now we need to take this part off right here. Okay, we need to put this, roll it up nicely. And unfortunately, your favorite car reviewer of the duo wasn't able to make it out because he's sick, so you're stuck with a Yuri-only car review. Tuck the, close the latch, put it right here, get that out of the way, this out of the way, and in no time at all, we can close the trunk and get ready for launch control. Oh my God! All right, that was fun. So what is the 718 Spyder RS? It is pretty much the GT4 Cayman RS now as a Boxster, but softened up. They wanted this thing to be the one for the winding roads, not for the racetrack. And I think they kind of got it right. Like, this is pretty soft, it is pretty comfortable. We have no roof, and as you saw, I had to pull that thing off by myself. Oh, manually? What's up with that? Well, I guess they kind of just built this as a roadster, no top. It's an emergency top. So you can take it off in two parts, have the glass at the back, or just have it as like a tent. And then you could store it all in the car, and overall it's 35 pounds or 16 kilograms less than a regular Boxster. But if you just leave it at home, you don't put it in the car, you actually save 17 pounds or 8 kilograms. All right, little handling through cliche corner. Feels amazing, obviously, because it's an RS and this is what it's meant for. Comes in PDK only, shifts lightning quick. But I feel like you need big, crazy winding roads, normal city stuff. You're pretty much just like flying on the highway with this. And then I think it's pretty obvious, but I should say it, this is rear wheel drive only. That launch was pretty good, slipped up a bit if the tires were warmer and maybe I played with the traction controls, I could have got it to launch even harder, but like shifting at 9,000 RPM is so good. But back to that top, okay. Do I mind the gimmicky top? Some people are like, this is stupid, you already got like a lot of weight in it, like who cares? But I think that's fun, like trying to make the most lightweight roadster and then having a cool top that you can fully take off. It's kind of like a fun party trick, like a Rubik's Cube, or like, it's like one of those puzzle kits that you can get at like the game stores. Like, it's just fun to know how to do that and be able to do that whenever you need to. And when I got this thing home after putting that top off, I just parked it into my garage, left it there overnight. I wasn't in the mood to do that multiple times, and I think that's what rich people are going to do anyways. They're just going to store it indoors, right? So that's cool. But I do like the canopy mode where there's no glass at the back, because then it looks like just like a tent. You're like, this is just for drizzle, but I'm not parking it outside. Anyways, the top is cool. I appreciate that. Fun puzzles, I'm in. Next thing about this is, I guess, the competition. Because you think about it, you're like, did they just do this for fun? Does it compete with anything? Porsche does have a 911 Speedster, but that was super exclusive. That had manual transmission, so that was like really sick, my favorite. This one's weird because it's like PDK only, and it's got all like the carbon stuff and downforce, which has changed, I'll get to that. I was thinking about it, and I guess what this really competes with is like a Huracan Spyder, McLaren 650S Spyder, AMG SL, not really an R8 convertible, but like maybe, and probably also a Z06. Does it compete with the 911 Speedster? I don't know. Like, there is no convertible RS of a 911. So like it's kind of its own cool thing. And I guess Huracan's got the V10, McLaren's got their cool twin turbo V8s and all that stuff. Let's see if 9,000 RPM shifting is better than that. We got the intakes right here. It's mid-engine, kind of like the Cayman. We got the extra one right there. It sounds really good. It's really loud though. It takes a while to get used to it. When you're already going and then you floor it, I think that's where the sweet spot is. So if you're going like on the highway and you floor it, perfect. But like when you're first getting off on that, it's like this intake's a little loud. How about the exhaust? Let's listen to a rev limit from the outside. I still think Huracan sounds better, and I think McLaren and Huracan look cooler. Z06 I think also sounds cooler, and I think they all look cooler, but one of the reasons you might want to get this is because you want to be part of a Porsche club instead of like a McLaren club or a Lamborghini club or a Corvette club, right? Like it's a completely different market if you want to have the track-focused, windy road-focused convertible model. So now let's look those up real quick on tsp.truecar.com, see if you can find an SL63, Huracan Spyder, Z06, McLaren 650S, or even a 911 Speedster for a similar price to this Boxster. Yeah, I'm calling it a Boxster even though it's a 718 Spyder. Okay, so let's get to the changes of this compared to the Cayman GT4, because you know, they did have to change some stuff. The first thing you'll notice from the outside is we do not have a big wing, but we do have a big ducktail. Is it duckbill or ducktail spoiler? Can it be both? I think it's both. It's got a little carbon fiber tip at the top. That, in combination with the front splitter being slightly smaller and some stuff underneath, equals as much downforce as they could put into this without having that big wing and still having a perfect neutral balance. Also, if they didn't put that wing on it that big, it would also lift too much, so they absolutely nailed it, and it definitely feels like that. It's Porsche. I wouldn't second guess anything they do when it comes to handling of a car. Would I like to see a big wing on the back of this? I don't even think that would work with the whole back clamshell lifting up to get access to the top and the trunk. And when you have the full top on, you can't lift that clamshell or even unlock it until you click those little things back and pop off the little corners of the emergency top, not a convertible top. Oh, little turning road, let's go. Yeah, for winding roads, this thing would be sick. They say this is for legal winding roads, but you know. So that's also why this is nice in this dark gray color, because if it was bright yellow, you know, easy to spot the troublemaker. And then another thing they did for the RS Spyder in comparison to the Cayman GT4 RS is they made it a little softer, so it was more livable, because this is for like canyon carving and not just the racetrack. Does it feel softer? I don't know. I didn't drive the Cayman RS because I pulled my back and got sciatica. I was in like the hospital for a bit at the time, a couple years ago. But this does feel very livable. I'm sure it'd be more livable with the normal sport seats instead of these carbon buckets from the visia package, which this does have, as you can see. It does look cool. I love the red on the inside. I love the exposed carbon fiber on the hood and everything, the stripes. I think that works really well with this dark gray color. If it was yellow, maybe I'd go without the visia package, but I don't think they'd sell me one anyways. Plus, I'm only kind of like a 911 guy, not a top trim Boxster guy, but low trim Boxster, like entry level Boxster with a manual, then we're talking. That's more of a Yuri car. And I always wanted that like first gen yellow Boxster with the spinning wheels and the light pale yellow one and the runny egg headlights. Let me know in the comments below if you like runny egg headlights. Also with the visia package, we get these forged magnesium wheels with center locks. They look totally awesome. Totally awesome. Love them. And the Continental recommended tire for a 718 Spyder RS would be the Extreme Contact Sport 02s. So now other stuff with the looks, we do have more carbon fiber. We got carbon fiber side mirrors. We got carbon fiber on our intakes right there. The exhaust tips look pretty cool, titanium. Let's see if I can put a neutral and rev. Sounds really good. Let's just floor it in drive in PDK Sport shifting mode. That is a nice sound, but you really got to work to get the full wow. It's not easy like a Lambo with a little whoom V10 and then it just sounds good. But I guess Huracan doesn't exist anymore, but I'm still counting this against the Huracan because if we look inside here, we have the old interior, right? And this old interior from like the 991.2 is kind of like the best of Porsche. I miss this. I love this. No digital stuff in the middle, just the old center tack with the digital speedo at the bottom. You see your gear there, digital screen on the right, speedo on the left, which you'll never look at. No drive modes, just your PDK shifting mode. You can adjust the dampers to be a little more firm. And then you can also do the nose lift up or down. Then below that, we have our ESC off and our ESC plus traction control off. I'm keeping that on because for these roads, I don't feel the need to use it. If I did take it to the track because I was part of the Porsche club, then I probably would use it. Let me know if you're a rich person with a cool convertible or cool like supercar. Are you part of a car club and how is it? How's the McLaren club? How's the Corvette club? How's the Porsche club? Is there an Audi club? Do you guys go to racetracks and rent them out? Is it a good vibe? Have you switched clubs? I want to know about that life. Back to the inside, I said we got the old gauge cluster. With the gauge cluster, that is how we check the oil in this car. So now it's time for the dipstick test. What you have to do, because there is no engine that you can see, you can top up oil, you can add some washer fluid. What you have to do is go through your right bubble, go to your vehicle, and then run a 2-minute check to see if the engine has oil while idling. So this doesn't pass the dipstick test, but it is a cool gimmick. And the TotalEnergies recommended oil for the RS Spyder would be the Quartz 5W40. Always check your manufacturer recommended guidelines. And then this shifter is really awesome. It looks like a manual, which got my hopes up when I got in. I'm like, is it manual? No. You can push it to the left and then shift like Ken Block style, which is super fun. I love that. The paddles are really nice. Everything about shifting this is fantastic. Being able to see where you redline so clearly is perfect. Now some boring stuff nobody cares about. We have an infotainment. The infotainment has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and we got hard buttons for our volume and stuff like that, our tuning, and hard buttons for our climate. It's absolutely perfect. I miss this. This is my sweet spot Porsche. Maybe because that's when I was driving when I started doing car reviews, or maybe it's just the best. I don't know, but it's nice to see that you can get that in 2024. And with this infotainment, I have found that cranking my music full blast while driving, everything is crystal clear. This is such a good cruising car, just like music blasting, top, at home. It's a very good, comfortable setup. We also have these door pulls because Visic, and these seats, which is not the most comfy, but yeah, the door pulls are cool. Red stitching's cool. And I did mention at the beginning of the video that this competes kind of with an SL, which isn't a supercar really, Huracan, which is a supercar, 650S, which kind of is a supercar, Z06, it's kind of a supercar, and an R8, kind of. It competes with a lot of like almost supercars. So let's do the supercar checklist. Fast, loud. Yes and yes. Does it have a lot of carbon fiber? Visoc? Yes and yes. Does it have a gimmicky steering wheel? Well, there are no buttons on it, so I would say yes. Does it pass the visor test? The visors are stuck in place. Supercar pass. Will it fit a box in the front? It would fit a box. Supercar fail. Do you look cool getting in and out? Not really, because these carbon buckets are super difficult. You just look like you're on the struggle bus. And do the doors go up? They do not go up. And then does it get a lot of attention? In this color, no. Honestly, it's under the radar, just chills. So is this a supercar? Is the Huracan a supercar? 650S a supercar? Z06 a supercar? So with this kind of being a supercar, but not really, but close, let's get to the price. This one, the Spyder RS, starts at 188,800 Canadian, and this one is optioned out to $233,700 Canadian. That's a lot of money, and there's going to be a lot of markup on it, and you probably need to buy a bunch before you get this. So would I take this over like a Lamborghini Huracan, which doesn't exist anymore? It's used, an R8 convertible, Z06 if I could find one. Maybe a SL, I don't know about that. Let's answer that quickly with a tunnel rip. All right, I think all those cars would have sounded equally sick through a tunnel. I personally think if I wanted a convertible Spyder, I would go Lambo. There's something about Lambo that's super cool. But if you want to be part of a Porsche club, I totally get this, because maybe that group is a better vibe. The McLaren group does sound fun, and they're winning at F1 pretty hard right now, so that would also be pretty cool, because like one of like the Formula 1 driver shows up to one of your meetups, like that'd be sick. But overall, also as a driving experience, this is fantastic. Would I want this in manual? No, I feel like it's too fast for manual. And then would I ever drive this car on a public road that can handle it? Like, I don't think there are any around me at all that could. So I would probably just have to actually go to the track days to run this thing out. So let me know in the comments below, do you like the Spyder RS? Would you pick it over the others? Would you pick it over a 911 Speedster? Because 911 Speedster in my heart, that's my favorite car that I've ever driven. That's what I tell everyone, and that's my goal. And this is kind of the opposite of that, you know what I mean? This is RS, carbon fiber, PDK only, and that thing was like just a nice smooth design, manual, but it still had the same interior, same motor, a little more horsepower. Let me know below. Thanks for watching. Jacob will be back next video.